If your toothpaste makes big foam, your gums might be paying the price. You're about to see why 3 common ingredients, SLS, titanium dioxide, and artificial sweeteners, are the hidden landmines in whitening and fresh formulas. We'll show you how to spot them on the label in seconds, why they trigger dry mouth, irritation, and enamel wear, and which 2 dentist-backed brands actually help calm gum inflammation. Stay with this, because the difference between soreness and relief is one line on the tube you've never noticed. You trust the foam. It looks active, it feels busy, it sells clean. Then you spit, and your gums tingle like they just got scoured. That sting is your first clue. Let's start with the workhorse behind the bubbles, sodium lauryl sulfate. SLS is a detergent. It whips air into the paste so you get that cloud of foam, but it also strips the thin, slippery layer that protects your mouth. That layer, the mucosal barrier, keeps nerves quiet and helps your saliva do its job. Take it off, and everything feels raw. The real kicker is what follows. Dry mouth is not just thirsty. Less saliva means more plaques sticking around, acids hanging out longer, and gums that react to every little poke. You pay for fresh. You get more soreness and extra buildup. Here's why it spirals. SLS behaves like dish soap on skin that is not skin. It breaks fat-based shields that line your cheeks, lips, and gums. Without that shield, bacteria and food acids have a shorter path to the nerves, and the tissue gets irritated. That tingling after you rinse is your warning light. Research comparing SLS to SLS-free formulas shows higher rates of mouth irritation and more canker sores when SLS is in the mix. If you already run dry, mouth breathing at night, or long days without water, the odds go up. And if your saliva is low from common meds, it jumps again. Think allergy pills, blood pressure drugs, antidepressants, and pain relievers. Many slow saliva. SLS piles on by removing what lubrication you have left. Result: peeling patches inside your cheeks, sore spots near the gum line, and those hot-cold zaps from exposed areas the next day. You know the session. White, bubbly, mint hits hard, and then a sandpapery feel creeps in. By lunch, your cheeks feel tight. By evening, a new sore spot shows up. That is classic SLS fallout. You can dodge it with a quick label scan. Look for sodium lauryl sulfate and its cousin sodium lauryl sulfate. If they are listed, that too brings the sting. Switching to SLS-free is often a fast win. Many people notice less tingling in days and fewer sore patches within a week. Your foam will shrink. Your relief will not. Now let's move on to the bright white promise that quietly sands your smile. Whitening with titanium dioxide. That icy white paste looks like a luxury upgrade. So why do your teeth feel zappier the longer you use it? Let's start with titanium dioxide. It's a pigment that makes paste look extra white and helps sell instant bright. It doesn't bleach teeth. It just coats and reflects light. The twist is many of those quick bright formulas pair the pigment with a gritty blend of abrasives to scrub stains fast. That is a problem if your enamel is thin or your gums have slipped a bit. When roots peek out, dentin sits right under a thin smear of protection. Hit that with a scratchy paste twice a day, and you are sanding a soft surface. Short term, the gloss looks better. Over time, sensitivity grows. There's also the exposure question. Some regions restrict titanium dioxide in food because of genotoxicity concerns. Here, oral care can still use it. Your mouth's lining is thin and leaky by design, which means what sits there has a straight shot to sensitive tissue. Most people never see that on the label because US oral care doesn't put a big warning flag on decorative pigments. Now the quiet number that almost no one checks. RDA, or relative dentin abrasivity. It tells you how rough the paste is on tooth material. High RDA pastes grind faster. They also wear enamel and aggravate exposed dent. That where makes temperature swings bite harder and lingers as a dull ache. Daily whitening with a scratchy paste is like buffing a soft countertop with a gritty cleaner. Shiny this week or next month. Dental literature links higher abrasivity with enamel loss and more sensitivity, especially on exposed dent. That is the exact crowd using whiteners the most. People who see yellowing as enamel thins with age. You can spot trouble without a microscope. Scan for titanium dioxide in the ingredient list and big, instant, or express whitening claims on the box. Then check the brand's website for the RDA. If they hide it, you probably won't like the number. The fix is simple. Skip daily harsh whiteners. Pick a gentle, low abrasive paste aimed at sensitivity or aging teeth. If you want a whiter shade, use short bursts of professional whitening and then go back to the soft stuff. Now let's move on to the flavor trick. Sweeteners that taste clean but can push your mouth's microbes out of balance. That minty finish feels clean. Then your breath rebounds by lunch and your gums feel touchy. That is not a fluke. Flavor chemistry nudges your microbes, and not always in your favor. Let's start with the usual flavor helpers, saccharin and aspartame. They sweeten without sugar, they hold the mint, and they make a cheap formula taste premium. But here's the kicker. Your mouth is an ecosystem. Nudge the mix of bacteria and you change how plaque forms, how sulfur fumes build, and how your tissue reacts. The oral microbiome runs on balance. Tip it, and plaque gets stickier, breath turns faster, and gums stay on edge. Artificial sweeteners cut sugar, but they are not neutral for every mouth. They can sway which bugs thrive at the gum line and on the tongue, and a small shift there can feel big when you wake up with that coated, stale taste. Now the better tools. Xylitol does sweetness without giving the usual suspects fuel. The troublemakers cannot use it, so they stall. That helps blunt acid spikes. Stevia is another route, sweet, plant-based, and it does not feed plaque. Different tools, different effects. You know the pattern. Strong mint now, then a slick film by noon, and a faint sulfur note that gum will not hide. That is your microbe mix waving a flag. Research in this area points to artificial sweeteners shifting microbial communities in the mouth and the gut, with dental angles touching on plaque behavior and breath changes. The theme is consistent. Less sugar is good, but the replacement matters. Support the balance and gums calm down. Disrupt it and the cycle of film, funk, and flare-ups rolls on. Label time. Scan the flavor line. If you see saccharin or aspartame, that is your cue to set it back. If you spot xylitol near the top, that is a better sign. Stevia works too, often paired with milder mint, so the paste does not need a candy-level sweet punch. The mini payoff is quick. Swap to xylitol or stevia, keep the same routine, and mornings settle. Breath holds longer, the film fades, and gums feel less jumpy after floss. So which brands actually cool gum flare-ups instead of fanning them? Let's put two to the test next, and see how they stack up when your sink gets real. You cut the irritants. Now you want a tube that does more than taste minty and hope for the best. Let's start with the short list that actually moves the needle. Parodontax and Sensodyne. These lines are built for gum support and sensitivity relief, not just breath and bubbles. The edge they share is stannous fluoride. It does 3 jobs at once. Fights plaque bacteria, soothes bleeding gums, and still guards against cavities. So you are not trading protection for comfort. But here's the kicker. Most gum pastes sell a cool rush and a vague promise. What you want is change you can feel and see at the sink. With steady use, Parodontax shows fewer bleeding spots and calmer tissue. There's a mild trade-off to know. Some users notice light surface staining over time. It is cosmetic and clears with a cleaning, and the whitening variants are tuned to keep that in check without cranking up grit. Sensodyne takes the sensitivity lane and keeps it gentle. Its gum and sensitivity options lean low abrasion, which matters when enamel is thin and roots are peeking out. You get relief from zings while the paste hardens your enamel against everyday acids. Several versions skip SLS or keep it low, which helps if your mouth runs dry or you react to foam. So here is a simple decision tree. If your brush brings pink in the sink or sore gum edges, start with Parodontax. If cold water bites, you clench it, sweets or dry mouth is your baseline. Try Sensodyne's sensitivity and gum or the Pronomel line. Give each at least 2 weeks of steady, twice daily. But here's the kicker. Gum pastes sell a cool rush and a vague promise. What you want is change, feel, and see at the sink. With Parodontax shows fewer bleeding spots and calmer. There's a mild trade-off to know. Some users notice light surface staining over time. It is cosmetic, clears with a cleaning, and the variants are tuned to keep that in check without cranking up grit. Sensodyne takes the sensitivity lane and keeps it. Its gum and sensitive options lean low abrasion, which matters when enamel is thin and roots are peeking out. You get relief from the paste hardens your enamel against everyday acid. Several versions skip SLS or keep it low, which helps if your mouth high or you react to foam. So simple decision tree. If your brush brings pink in the sink or sore gum edges, start with Parodontax. If cold water bite, you clench it, sweets or dry is your baseline. Try Sensodyne's sensitivity and gum or the Pronomel line. Each at least 2 weeks of steady, twice daily use before you call it. Do a fast label check if it reaches your cart. Aim for stannous fluoride. Pick SLS-free or less. Xylitol or stevia over sac or aspartame. Skip titanium dioxide. And avoid high abrasive bragging disguised as express stain removal. The